Guys, ASRock's really stepping up their cooling game. Let's go check out what they have. This is the Taichi Aqua 360 LCD. They call it LCD because they have an interchangeable LCD screen, or you can leave it visible so you can watch the liquid go throughout. So I'll display how it works. Simply connects and clips on like so. So you can have your temperature display, your RAM speed, RPM, or you can simply remove it and just have your liquid visible. They've actually got these new fans down here, which they are using. This is their Aqua series fans. They simply daisy connect together. So if I pull them apart, you can see we've got the fan header there, and then the connection simply connects like so. Then that makes a daisy chain connection with one cable coming out at the end for cleaner cable management. The fan blades themselves are made from an LCP material, which means you can actually get thinner blades on them, and they can expand the blades to go really close to the edge, because plastic blades, they seem to be a bit flimsy and hit the edge, and that's where you'd normally hear that noise of them hitting the edge. But these ones, more precision, which means you're actually getting a larger fan blade, more airflow for the system. Now, speaking of airflow, when we come to the radiator, because we have these really high performing fans, we're able to get a thicker radiator. Usually the radiators on the market are about 27 mil thick, but this one you're getting a 38 millimeter thick, because these have great static pressure to get the air through the radiator. But that is not all. This radiator right here actually has two pumps built in. That allows for expansion on the unit. So down the bottom here, you can see we actually have two G1/4" fittings. So if you wanted to expand the loop to include your GPU, you could do that. Now, the beauty about this system is, because there's two pumps, you don't want one to fail because there won't be enough flow left in the loop. So they've actually got this little controller here which acts as a buzzer or a sensor if one of your pumps starts to fail. So you connect for your first pump there, your second pump there, it'll buzz when it's failing, and so none of your GPU or CPU is going to overheat and the flow will keep going. You'll be alarmed to replace something or to check it out to see what's going on. Not only that, but they've also included a little flow meter here, so you can still see that your liquid is flowing through and see the flow rate through it. This is a limited edition piece. They're not sure whether they're going to be releasing 500 or 1,000 units, but I'm really loving the look of this. So we'll see what else they got in store for us. This is the WSTR360D. This is their workstation product, but I want to show you guys how efficient this is. It can cool up to 1,000 watts. So right now they've got 800 watts on the CPU. It has a similar design where you've got daisy chain fans together. They run all the way up to 3,000 RPM. This is a Workstation AIO, by the way, and there is one cable coming out, daisy chaining all these together, and the radiator is thicker, just like the Aqua that we saw before. You've got 38 millimeters thick, which means way more static pressure at 3,000 RPM. That's why it's able to cool so well. I've never seen an AIO cool 1,000 watts before in my life. It's able to achieve this because it has a similar dual pump design built into it, and its MSRP is set at $429 US. It's a pretty price to pay, but well worth it if you're after that much cooling. This is a collab with Acertech. It's the Taichi 360 Holo. We have a full fan bracket here, 360 millimeters, so you only have to install 4 screws. It has that same Taichi look that you could expect even on their motherboards carried out through here. That kind of looks like a Pokemon ball right there, doesn't it? Yeah. And then you go down to the pump cover, and this is where the magic happens. ASRock is saying that there's a lot of LCD screens on the market, so they wanted to try something different and implement a hologram screen. And so they've got their picture displayed on here. You need to be careful that you don't touch the blades. I don't know how much that would hurt, but I'm not going to try it. But under here also has a fan in there for cooling the VRMs. And so I just wanted to show you guys what they've got on the market. It's also a thicker radiator as well. This one's 40 millimeters thick instead of the traditional 27 mil that you can expect. So you're going to get greater cooling out of this radiator as well. This is the Rock series of AIOs. They're more budget-friendly version for users. So when I say budget-friendly, I mean budget-friendly. We'll touch on that a bit later, but it is inspired by their Rock series motherboard heatsinks. You can see that they've got that nice brushed aluminium design on there. This one has an LCD, and you can get one without the LCD to display temperatures with nice subtle RGB lighting. This one does have the 27mm thick radiators, your standard RGB fans. However, there's a 3-in-1 fan design, so one cable will come out. You only need 4 screws to implement it. RGB lighting. This is the non-digital display version, and the non-digital display version comes in at $59 US, whereas the digital display version comes in at $69 US. That is insane pricing if you want to get into the market on a budget. This is ASRock's original X870 Taichi motherboard that they had 10 years ago, and to celebrate 10 years of ASRock Taichi, they've developed this Intel Taichi motherboard and an AMD one on the other side. They've tried to take this same design, so you can see they've got the circular pattern there, they've implemented it up here and down there. This is 10 years. I'm not sure how much this is going to go for. I'm not sure if it's going to be limited edition or not, but let's move around and we'll check out the AMD one. Much like all of the other Taichi motherboards, this has the top end specs. This is the AMD version, again with that same design concept that's taken throughout. You can see the cogwheel design there on the heat shields there, all to celebrate 10 years. I want to touch on their creator series of the Intel Arc Pro. This is the B70 version, new here at Computex. And you can see here that it is looking really cool. It's still got that same color scheme with the black and gold. It's at 2,540 megahertz. And then if we move down here, they've actually collaborated with Alphacool to create a water block for their Intel Arc Pro B70 version. It's actually quite hefty, but you can see that it's a really low profile, very small, good for those smaller builds if you want to include that custom water cooling inside. And then we'll move over because we've also got another B70 GPU on display here. And this is the Intel Arc Pro B70 passive cooling. So this is a big heatsink inside. It doesn't require fans because it doesn't draw enough power to really overheat this. And yeah, they've just loaded that with heatsink. So it's a much better solution if you don't want noise in your system. So definitely one to consider for your next build. This is the TC3200P, a brand new power supply here at ASRock. Now you can see here that they're trying to focus on workstations. The reason behind the 3200 watts is because you can actually use 4 12-volt high-powered connectors. And you see beside each 12-volt high-powered connector, they've actually got room for a sensor pin. Now, the reason behind this is they're trying to combat that fire hazard that was happening with GPUs burning up. Now, with these new connectors, this is the sensor pin there. So the sensor pin's built into the cable itself, and it'll sense if there's an overload on the GPU or something's going wrong, and it'll automatically shut down the system. Not only that, but their connectors also have colored connections, so you can actually see if you've plugged in the connector properly into your power supply. So if you're planning on building a workstation, something for AI, rendering heavy workloads, this could be the power supply for you if you need multiple GPUs and GPUs that are kept safe. This is the PG1000PSF. This is the SFX power supply. Also comes with that same sensor pin solution for the 12-volt high power, so you're not going to be having any issues with any graphics cards burning up. And then, of course, we also have the same colored connectors that attach to the power supply, so you can make sure that they're plugged in all the way. 1000 watts for SFX is really good. However, sometimes a lot of companies don't include the bracket so that you can use them in ATX builds. However, ASRock are including that with this power supply, so if you just want a bit of a smaller footprint inside your case, this SFX power supply could be for you, and 1000 watts covers most GPUs on the market. Definitely an option to consider. This is the Steel Legend series that a lot of us know and love. They're Steel Legend Series 80 Plus Gold power supplies. They came out last year and they were so popular that they actually brought out the Platinum ones. Now this is the SL1200P. It is a nice grey design, and the cables also match that grey design, and they also have the implemented sensor pins like all the other power supplies and the coloured connectors to make sure that they're all plugged in properly. This one also includes 2, so if you're going to look at doing 2 GPUs, that is certainly an option. However, I wouldn't be doing 2 RTX 5090s for this. I'd stick to maybe your 5070s, something along those lines, but really nice. And they say that the grey actually looks really good with your white builds and your black builds. So definitely one to look at. Really nice aesthetics. Oh, and by the way, that kind of looks like a Superman logo. This is the X870E Taichi in white. The Taichi did so well in black that they wanted to come out with this design. For all white builds, I'm absolutely loving it. Nothing's really changed in terms of the performance or the specs. They've just got that white PCB, the Taichi design throughout, the implanted RGB. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, but it just looks sick. This motherboard here is all about saving money. If you're on a budget and you want a H610M Combo II, then this is certainly an option. Now, the reason why this is so good is because they offer DDR5 and DDR4 support. So if DDR5 is a little too expensive, grab yourself a DDR4 RAM stick and you can slot it in there. But if you can afford DDR5, use DDR5 in this. You can't use both at the same time, obviously, but it's just nice to have that option there for people who are on a budget. The other new refresh here is the B760M ITX. It is now Gen 5, so you got PCIe Gen 5 reinforced, and you've also got DDR5 support, whereas last year, this was all Gen 4. This is a Z890I Nova WiFi. This is the second revision. And the only difference between this and the first revision is now it actually supports 4R QDIM memory. Now, we could actually put two 128 gigabyte sticks in here for a total of 256 gigabytes. That is very impressive for an ITX system. Now, the Z890 Taichi Aqua has to be my favorite motherboard, obviously because I love water cooling. However, this has been out for a bit. It's not a new motherboard, but something that I wanted to show you guys anyway. We have built-in water cooling for the VRMs. Now, you could choose to use that or not because it still does provide the passive cooling and enough cooling at that. However, it is full copper nickel-plated blocks, so if you wanted to do the water cooling with that, I probably would, because I don't see why you would get a motherboard that has the built-in VRM water cooling and not utilize that. I'm hoping I could actually get my hands on one of these because I love the design so much, and I still have the original Z490, 590 and 690 Aquas. So this would be pretty cool to get my hands on. See if we can do an awesome steel silver water cooled build. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below.